Piers Morgan is the ultimate troll. He's the ultimate troll. I wasn't even gonna get in this Sterling debate. I heard, what I'm saying, I heard Sterling said the newspapers are racist. Right? Okay, he's coming. He's fighting back or whatever. He's he's acting all woke. He's acting all woke. So I just done some research. I already knew Sterling was people in Chelsea crowd were being racist to him. I already knew this. I've not got any type of um I expect it from Chelsea fans. You know what I'm saying? I expect it from the racism of Chelsea was high back in the day. I expect it of Chelsea fans. I don't think they've really moved on. So when doing my research or whatever, looking through what's going on, what's been said, again from this morning, Piers Morgan wants to weigh in on this situation now. Now the thing about Piers is, well, the whole argument was overt racism versus covert racism. Piers obviously like, oh, if I see any overt racism, like this guy who told him to F off, whatever, this, I called him black, whatever, this needs to be stamped out. But the newspapers are not racist. Newspapers are not racist. So we had, oh my gosh, I think his name's John Cross, newspaper Arsenal's fan. He was explaining how newspapers could be racist because of the language they're using. The language they use is old school language where they try and explain that the black people are more aggressive, they're beasts, they're more aggressive on the football pitch and no brains. Quickly to say that happened recently with Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart um, said some homophobic things back in the day, used the same words as Amy Schumer and that, but they were saying Kevin Hart had anti-gay tweets, and they said the girls was homophobic language, like that kind of stuff. It always paints black people in a certain way. So Piers was like, newspapers are not being racist. It's all good. It's all gravy as long as we stamp out the thing. This the do-gooder mindset of Piers. We're not like the back in the day, and we're not doing this. But they're trying to say, yo, like racism comes in different forms, and small bits of racism can, you know what I'm saying, can um shape a person's mind, especially the intelligent footballer. The guy, I don't know his name, but he used to be a footballer and he's a certified genius these days. He came out from playing football where they normally told they'd be brain dead, and he's now an intelligent guy. He took the um what's it called, IQ test, found out he's a mad genius. Now he's talking. He's trying to give Piers stories of how this is seeded racism, where where people have ideas about people of other races before they even listen to what they say or whatever. And his dad couldn't get a job. His dad was had the best work ethic in the world, but he couldn't get a job back in the day because of the racism. And this travels down in the language and in the culture of racism. So Piers again trolling, saying, yeah, newspaper, you just don't care. Newspapers aren't racist. This man's racist. He wants to pinpoint racism down to individuals and not anything to do with like bias. Because racism can be very small and very big. We tend to think racism is just this massive thing when it could be massive or small. Like everybody is racist in some way. It's just a bias. But you have more of a bias when you're in a bias. See, when you're in a bias country, or when you're in a majority country, you will probably be more biased to the minority. No matter what country, or if you're in a black country, you might just be biased towards black people, and the minority in there will get it. Same thing. Same thing happening here. But he's not trying to understand that. And they even got a call in of a guy who was standing right next to a black guy that was standing a few seats away from the Chelsea guy that was being racist to Sterling, asked him, interrogating, why didn't you say nothing? He was like, I didn't hear nothing. Loads of people taking crap. I didn't hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but in all this, I'm thinking Piers Morgan is just a super troll. Super troll. So it ended up being a topic. It ended up coming down to the realization or the thought process that you can't minimize these things. When people are having their grievance, let them say what they have to say. Don't minimize it, because the whole world will start minimizing things like that, and probably will make them more than they should be, or people will not learn to treat people in a better way.